You guys aren't crapping your pants already, are you? Jittery, feeling the pressure at home. They can't complete a 5-foot pass, he says. Hey, he says, breathe. Just keep breathing. Nothing is lost. He's like talking them down off the ledge because he can see 13 minutes into the first period that they're crapping their pants. Isn't that something? And isn't it dead on? The pants crapping has commenced. That's my opening thought. Mazz and Murray alongside you guys.
It's like they're following the same script as last year. So whether you were watching on TV, lucky enough to be there like I was last night, that's the first time I heard Ferraro's call. He's right. Like, it was evident. The puck was jumping off their stick. They were so tight right from the jump. And this was just like what this was last year in Game 5 against Florida. You a-holes, you have this team who's bigger losers than you without their best player who might be sick. Who the hell knows what's going on with Austin Matthews? They have a no-name rookie goalie who just wants to turn into a puddle. And you were the bigger puddle last night because what? The weight of high expectations, or you talked yourself in too much that we're not going to do what we did last year? Because I know Brad Marchand was cutting off reporters, even daring to bring that up before last night's Game 5. Yeah, well, I mean, I left there. I'm still pissed. Like, that was guys, let's repeat exactly what we did in Game 5 last year.
What if they can't help it, Murray? What do you mean
by that? Like, it's just what? It's so ingrained that
there's good pressure players and there's bad pressure players. There's good pressure teams and there's bad pressure teams. It's just baked into their DNA. This is what they do. This is who they are.
But some guys, Marchand's been there, done that, won a cup.
As a rookie.
Yeah, well, right.
He was great, but he was like the 5th or 6th piece on that team, and that's 7th or 8th piece on that team. I don't know how you want to rank it.
No, and that also speaks to one of my big beliefs is as a rookie, sometimes you're too dumb to know what the hell the situation you're in. Like David Price in 2008 with Tampa Bay, and that's David Price we're talking about. Sometimes when you're a rookie, you're too stupid to realize the situation and the gravity of it when you're in it. So maybe that's what Marchand is. Because wow. I mean, people rightfully left pissed from that building last night because they couldn't believe they were watching. It was a repeat of last year's Game 5.
I mean, that thing was joke. It was inept. It was inept. It is one thing to say that you don't come out and you're ready to go. The inability to sort of handle the puck, pass the puck, receive the puck, any of that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Puck sitting right before the blue line in their own end. All they got to do is tap it out of the zone. DeBrus skates right over it. How many times did that happen? They wave at pucks that either they mishit, bounce by them, like whatever. How many times did it happen?
What a horrible sign. And it's not the loss. Like, the loss is the loss. It comes down to overtime and one play, bang, bang, you're done. That's overtime hockey. You had a couple good chances. You couldn't convert. They got one. It goes in the net. You lost. Like, it's not that. It's how you played. It's Mazz. It's how you came out.
Totally right.
In that situation, even if you had won, I was fully prepared. Even if they won, I was going to sound the alarm bells today. That is frightening. You've got that team on the ropes, man. They are ready. They are ripe. They are ready to topple and pack it in. They had undusted the golf clubs. They dusted the golf clubs off. Their best players out. They benched their bad goalie for a worse goalie. They're bickering at each other on the bench. The whole city's up and they're done. And if you just give them any reason to fold it up, they're going to fold it up. And you come out and have your season low in shots on net in the first period.
Two
shots.
I couldn't believe it. And it was tied.
Right. That's the amazing thing. Is as bad as it was, the whole first period was played in their end of the ice. The whole period. It still ended up 1-1.
Sorry. Even if they got the bounce in overtime, I was going to come out today and say, oh, this is not right.
I would have said stolen. A stolen win.
Bad sign. You can't rise to the moment. Like, not even close. And the moment, like, as moments go, this one's kind of an hors d'oeuvre for what would be coming if you advance. This is just a little sampler. This is the lowest degree of difficulty for the moment that you can get. Game 5 at home against the Leafs, who are ready to pack it in with their best player on the bench and a backup goalie who's the backup to a horrible goalie. It's not like he's backing up Martin Brodeur over there. So this Wall kid can't beat out. So it's like, wow. And it was that bad. 2 shots on net in the first period. Season low. That would be what, game 87? Lowest shot total in a period or the first period all season long. Shots total, like total shots, not shots on net, was a joke all game long. At one point in the second period, it was 42-13. After 2 periods, it was 50-23. Couldn't win a faceoff early to save your life. I think you lost something like 15 of the first 19 draws.
Early. It felt like the whole night. They didn't win one.
They got smoked on the dot.
It ended up 60-40, so the third period might have 60% to 40%. So the third period might have gone to the Bruins. I don't know. I just know what it was in the first 2 periods. Outshot total shots 50-23 in the first 2 periods. 12 shots on net. McDonough said this. 12 shots on net through 2 periods was the 4th lowest through 2 periods in a home playoff game in 40 years.
Say that again?
Right. I mean, someone fed McDonough. Who would know? But it's just an illustration. That's how bad you were. 12 shots through 2 periods was the 4th lowest through 2 periods in a home playoff game in 40 years.
Oh, my God.
We're going back to Pete Peters? When is that? 84? Jesus. They're so choky. They are so tight. And people make the mistake of saying, they didn't show up. They didn't show up. It's not that. We're parsing words, I know. But to me, it's an important distinction. Not showing up or sort of losing focus is like what we talk about with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like I think the Celtics do that.
Up big.
Lose focus.
Think the other team will quit.
I don't think they're unfocused. I think they're tight.
Yeah.
They're so tight and they're so in their own heads and they're so overwrought that that's what it looks like. Like when you're tense and tight, you slow down.
And the puck gets bouncy off sticks. We've seen it before. They're going into that game last night. Closeout game. 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 Can we score first? We just need to get ahead first, so maybe they'll quit. Closeout game. Closeout game. We can close them out tonight. Closeout game. Closeout game. We got to get to the handshakes. Handshakes. Let's get to the next round. It's just the whole. You can see.
It's so true. It's what it is.
Calm down, like Ferraro said. Take a breath, guys. Jesus.
Oh my God! So that Ferraro commentary again. It's 7 minutes left in the first period, and he's like, "Guys, take a breath. It's okay." That was amazing. I clipped it, and when I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh my God, he sees it. Thank God he sees it." Jittery. Too tight. Guys, take a breath. They need to go out and get bleep-faced or something. Like, it's not that they don't care. You have it wrong. It's not that they're not showing up. That's the wrong way to look at it. You think the guy who 3 putts to win the U.S. Open doesn't want it? No, he wants it too much, and he's in his own head, and he can't slow down. And so it looks that way, but that's not what this team is. They want it.
It's the opposite.
Right. They want it. They care. They just, oh my God, they can't do it in the moment. Oh, that was so bad. But really not surprising. It shouldn't be surprising.
I was a little surprised. I admit I was a little surprised.
And the outsiders see it. I don't bother with Nesson when I have the option. I don't know what they're saying, but again, Ferraro takes one look at it and says, holy moly, guys. Take a breath. PK Subban after the game. I think he sort of had it too, kind of, sort of, half and half. Here's PK Subban after the game on ESPN.
Again, you're home. You're up 3-1. You got the hottest goaltender on planet Earth. Just go. And they did in overtime, but man, the Bruins came out so tight. I was shocked.
If I'm Jim Montgomery and Brad Marchand, I'm pissed because outside of those two, I feel bad for those two. The rest of the guys, where is everybody? Like, I don't get it. Where's the complacency? This Stanley Cup playoffs. And by the way, some of you guys are playing for your jobs. Like, it's not just hockey. It's got to be more than that. It's pride. It's a privilege to be in that situation. A lot of you got Brad Marchand put the team on his back.
2 shots on goal in the first period.
That put them in that situation. You got to take advantage of it. You got to at least show up. They didn't show up tonight. I don't know. I mean, listen. They could come out and play Bruins hockey and win, but if you want to win the Stanley Cup, these are the types of teams you got to put away when you have a chance. And today is just it's like, guys, you guys scared of the moment?
Are you guys scared of the moment? He said,
Yes.
Are you guys scared of the moment? And again, I think I'm not all in on his commentary there because I do not exempt Brad Marchand or
Me neither.
Jim Montgomery.
No. To me, about the only guy you can exempt on that team last night to me is probably Swayman.
Bingo.
That's it. Swayman was good. He was dialed in pretty much from the very beginning. The first goal was on a screen. The second one was a freaking collapse in front of his own net, basically, and that was it. The rest of them, I had a hard time picking out who played well last night. When you really go through who, there were a couple guys that weren't horrible. But there was nobody that you looked at and said, that guy was a terror on the ice. Not one.
Are you scared of the moment, says PK Subban. Ray Ferraro, 13 minutes in, says, guys, take a breath. It's okay. They see it. You should see it. Everyone should see it. It's them in that moment. And last night is just a sampler. Like I said, sampler. A layup sort of closeout situation. So you talk about what happens going forward, if there is a going forward, but that's still what this team is. Their fourth straight closeout game under Jim Montgomery, and they have not played well in any of them. And they've been a mess, frankly, for most of it. Most of those 4 closeout games, they've been a freaking mess. I do not exempt Jim Montgomery. I don't blame him, but I don't exempt him. I don't know what the need was to futz with his lineup last night.
That was ridiculous.
Especially in back. I don't mind trying to get Brazeau going, but maybe that's what that was. Maybe he felt, maybe that was a sign that we got this thing in the bag. I'll use this opportunity to get his feet wet because he hasn't played in whatever it is, over a month.
That one bugged me too.
So it's like, all right, we got the series. This is a good chance to get him in there. Well, you lose Beecher, who's your best faceoff guy, and the next thing you know, you're getting absolutely tushed on the dot. All right, good call. And the Matt Grzelcyk thing to me is just, I've been ranting about this for 3 years. You've got to keep him on the roster, even though you keep benching him in the playoffs. Until you don't, for what reason? Their last game was their best defensive game of the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's screw with the lineup.
So let's change the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, for Pete's sake. So the coach is definitely not exempt. Never mind Marchment, who's not just diving against the opponent. He dives when the ref touches him now. But we'll get to all of this and your calls. I'm sure you have some thoughts.
Did you hear Jack on the refs, by the way, real quick?
No, I did. I don't want to hear it. Do I? Go ahead.
Kazari is the first official to exit the ice. Coward!
I feel bad. I said this again. Like this, listen to Scal with I feel bad for the local. It's why you people don't know the rules. And you don't know what refereeing is, and you can't watch a game normally because your local broadcasters have poisoned you. So, that's a whole nother story. I do feel bad for you. No wonder you're clueless on that stuff.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Bruins analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.